work in home health, and so I work a lot with the chronically ill, and I recognize that a big reason for the ailments and illnesses of my patients go back to diet and the gut. I started to see all these people and all these illnesses and not being able to do the things you want to do, not being able to play with your grandkids when they're around, was an everyday eye-opener that what kind of life do I want to live and bring myself into. I also have autoimmune diseases in my family, and my mom has multiple sclerosis, which is autoimmune, and working through that with her, one of the biggest advantages you can give yourself is an anti-inflammatory diet. I knew in my genes there were some not so great things, and that diet was something that I could control to give myself the best chance. Before I started the program, there's all kinds of things going on with me that I didn't think were related to diet or breathing, and they were. So I had every day for about 2 years and didn't even realize it had been 2 years, nausea and vomiting. I just wake up and not feel so good midway through the morning. Getting ready for work, I would just have to throw up. I had diarrhea all the time and didn't even click that I had chronic diarrhea. I had stomach pains when I had bowel movements, really painful periods where I didn't want to get out of bed. I lost all my energy and it was really hard to work. I had stress incontinence, which is a little embarrassing for a 25-year-old without kids. It's resolved because I've learned about my body. I had depression and anxiety to the point of interfering with my life. I also had to start on some depression medications, which have helped me so much, but I feel like I'm gaining more tools now. I might be able to let go of those soon. I was overweight. I had insomnia, chronic headaches. I would probably have 5 out of the week, which is a lot better than 7 days out of 7 days when I was in nursing school. Also had this chronic left shoulder and neck pain. I think it's where I carry a lot of tension. And I get some pain in my upper back, like the thoracic area. At the time before I started Deanna's program, I knew better. Like I said, I'm a nurse. I've been through some nutrition education, but I was living basically off of alcohol, gluten, and dairy. And I was just putting way too much toxic load into my body. So since I have finished her program, I've lost 10 pounds over the 6 months. I've lost 2 inches around my waist, and my body composition is changing, so fat percentage and such. I can see differences in my body. The DNA testing is really a game changer. It's the knowledge and the drive. I have genetics that don't process toxins very well, and it's even worse when I have alcohol, dairy, and gluten. And so I was really setting myself up with failure by eating that kind of diet, by knowing that my genes literally put me in a worse spot for those things. I can't unknow that. I just know that now, so it gives me the motivation to stay away from those things. It also gave me a little insight that makes me be more kind to myself. For example, I happen to have the gene that is pro snacking, especially night snacking, and a sweet tooth, and that explains me totally. The knowledge and understanding, just, it's like a spiral. It keeps getting better and better. And I have these genetic tests that I can come back to that are always there. Not only that, Deanna's incredible, and I know if there's something I want to dive deep into, she's going to be right there for me to help me walk through it and understand and go as deep as I want to dive. Physically, I feel like I have so much more energy, especially when I'm good about taking my vitamins. I don't have much trouble sleeping at all. I do notice that alcohol affects my sleep a lot, so I kind of use that now. I know if I have to work, I should not drink the night before because it really just messes with my sleep and it makes me feel like crap the next day. And I just feel so much better when I don't do that. My GI symptoms have mostly resolved. Nausea and vomiting haven't had at all since February. Bowel movements are regular. On the Bristol scale, they're like a 4, which is good and exciting if you're a nurse or into GI stuff. I've had better periods. I actually don't get the cramps the day beforehand that tell me it's coming, so that's kind of nice. Depression and anxiety have gone way down. I think also because my toxic overload has just gone down. Serotonin, one of the happy hormones, lives mostly in your gut, and I wasn't being very kind to my gut, so it makes sense that I was low in that and struggling with that. A lot of the time when I feel betrayed by my body with my headaches, with my neck pain, with my shoulder pain, it's actually trying to tell me that it doesn't feel safe, and so it's compensating to try to help me feel safe at a cellular level. And so now I have tools to say, wait a minute, I'm not feeling right. I don't know why I'm not feeling right. Let me do some things to see if I can even myself out. So that means getting 90-90, doing some deep breaths, getting my ribs back into place, expanding my rib cage into the back. That has really made a difference in my back pain, and I rarely have shoulder pain or neck pain anymore. Don't have headaches anymore. I just feel confident in my decisions, like going out with friends. I don't feel bad anymore about not joining in on drinking because I know what it makes me feel like and if it's worth it to me. That doesn't mean I don't ever drink. Sometimes I definitely do, and there's times I want to celebrate or just kick back with friends. I weigh the costs and I choose that, and maybe, you know, on that day I'm gonna take extra magnesium because I knew I was gonna drink. And the biggest things Deanna's exercises have given me, I think, is permanently changing the way I think every day, most moments. So what I mean by that is grounding my heels, noticing my back is hurting, I'm not in the greatest position. I'll do these deep breaths and positionings that Deanna has taught me, and not only does it make me feel better in the moment, it helps me release tensions and pains. And for example, sometimes I have to sit crisscross applesauce, which is not ideal to do wound care and things like that, and sometimes, you know, it just doesn't feel that good. But afterwards, anywhere I am, I could go out, find a curb or something like that, and I could kind of reshift my hips and my body and my breathing. And so that is also really powerful, that I'm not gonna have a bad day because I sat bad. I just need to go and reset my body, and it really helps and gives me extra energy. Deanna's given me the glasses to see deeper into myself, into my DNA, all the way back to what generational traumas and just environments might have triggered with my DNA, and how I can use the dirty DNA to make better choices for myself. I highly recommend working with Deanna if you want to dive deep into your health, your habits, your roots, your mind, your body. It is all connected, and anyone who tells you it's not just isn't acknowledging the truth. You need to start working with Deanna and diving into what is your health and what's good for you. I really feel like my body's not betraying me anymore like I used to feel, and it's just giving me signals that it doesn't feel safe, and allows me to slow down and say, what do I need to help my body feel safe? And then we can move on and thrive. So I've really enjoyed working with Deanna, and it hasn't stopped. I'm not actively doing a program, but she always answers my questions, and I always feel encouraged. I don't feel like I've totally messed up if I've fallen off the bandwagon, because that's life and there's other things, and Deanna is so understanding, and I'm not sure I would have kept going if it wasn't for her support and, you know, saying like, I don't give a shit if you eat ice cream, like that's okay, that happens. It's okay. See, just notice how you felt. And it's about noticing, processing that, and then making better decisions for the future. So I've loved working with her. I think it's made a tremendous lifelong impact for me. It was some of the best money ever spent, to be able to give myself the opportunity to create a life of longevity and joy, and really excited for the future because I'm going to be able to do anything with a healthy, happy body and mind. Thanks, Deanna.